Riordan's back, and with the Dal Rita, no less. Bold move. Let's hope he knows what he's doing, or the Keep's going to be in for one hell of a mess.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it.
Wanderer in the sunken village. You must be lost. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. Now, even they are misplaced. I guess I'm just an old man listening to the sound of the sea. Every wave carries a story, you know. Some are whispers, others are roars. I like to think they're keeping me company. Long ago, I decided to wait for something to happen. So I'm waiting for what's ahead of me. And I can feel that it's closer than ever. Everything that's around us, it's not yet. Before you go, I understand. I see you. You can... Monsters? I think you misunderstand. I don't see any monsters here. Only lost villagers, still clinging to their home. It's sad, but as you can see, not much depends on us. The world just keeps on happening, and you happen along with it. They were given some time which they've tried to use as much as they could. That's all. I'm glad they allow me to stay here despite what happened. I like this place. It's the cycle of life. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid, it means you're struggling with something too much, my friend. Sometimes you just need to sit and look. Watch everything turn. The sunken village was not always sunken, but one day someone, undoubtedly important, made a decision, undoubtedly necessary, that it would be better to make it so. So the wave came and made the village into the sunken village. And its inhabitants, well, you can see for yourself. I know that some druids did it. Specific individuals, although their names have long been forgotten. This is no great mystery, my friend. You'd have to ask those responsible for the flood. Who knows what's going through people's heads? Maybe someone ordered them to do it. You'll never know. That's a good question. Maybe they burnt during the charred conclave. Maybe not. Nevertheless, the punishment was delivered and justice prevailed. Once again, the world was made a better place. At least that's what those who set fire to the stakes preach. All in the name of the Word. Among others, this wouldn't have happened if not for Camelot's desperation. Hey, many tragic decisions were made. I don't know if the word was so unambiguous or if its interpretation failed. What happened on the fields of the charred conclave wasn't just about the flood, my friend. It was about things and forces we don't understand. Long ago enough for people to have no chance of discovering why it happened, and yet recently enough that this place still reminds us of it. Now the village is what it is, and the past is washed away. At least it can still be home for them, and I'll stay and look. These are interesting times indeed. I have everything I need, the entire world in one place. Safe travels, child.
How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself, and when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised. And the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Ah, Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. And desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar. Even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky. But to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The menhir there is failing, the weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest. A voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't shield. And then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
forward. After all, you know me well. Take off your mask now. It's your home. Welcome, little prince. Why the sullen look? Aren't you glad to see me? You finally made it here. It must have taken quite a long time. Because it is easier for me to address you this way than to accept that, for now, you are nothing more than a human. It is painful, but I must come to terms with it. So, you don't I'm afraid it might have something to do with the form in which I see you now. This body and soul, they're much different from what I expected. But to answer your question, I am the Weaver. And though it may be hard for you to believe, a part of you knows me all too well. It is a place where my prince was woven from the threads of pure potential. The Pale Lady was relentless in her desire to fulfill her vision of an offspring, modeled after those she watched so eagerly. It displeases me that you don't remember. I'd envisioned your return and our meeting, but now it all makes sense. Now I understand why you need that shard. The shard of the prince's memory. It is shattered, much like the fragmented memory of the king that lingers within you. I'd gladly speak with him, but something... I don't know all the details. What I do know is that after our prince was murdered by our kin, his potential, what you humans might call a soul, did not perish. The prince had been deeply fascinated by humans, and so after his death he manifested in one of them. That person was Arthur, the man who would one day become your king. Arthur was a man mortal like any other, but ambitious like few. But yes, his origins are far more complicated. This is a tale of two separate realities that, through a series of specific events, began to intersect, forming a single knot. Everything that has happened, and everything that will happen, is meant to decide the fate. And we, as you likely already know, have been pulled into all of this. Our meeting comes to an end. I regret how brief it is, but my role in your story was always meant to be insignificant.
I cannot say for certain. My memory remains too clouded. It seems familiar. I do not feel my soul bound to it, but I know our path shall lead us here, one way or another. Something lingers beyond this gate. Something ancient. That much I know. We'll find the truth soon enough. It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone, even when there was no king left to lead them. Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth. Our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow, wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back. Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war. And this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces. And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something.